Yo guys, Crescent here. Welcome to another build video. Today I'll be showing you my Magicka Nightblade build, and I'm gonna call this build War Bylat because we'll be using War Maiden. So yeah, whatever. I ran out of ideas for build names, so I'm just gonna call it War Bylat. And this build is a melee build. Obviously, it's not for CP because your sustain is gonna be too rough if you're not for non-CP. Sorry, then your sustain is gonna be too rough in non-CP. That's why it's kind of like just a CP build. And it has extremely high damage because we are using War Maiden. I just spoiled it already, but whatever. And the downside is it is a little bit squishy, so you kind of have to rely on your skills, your cloaks, your shields, your shadow image to run away from enemy. But it's really rewarding because it is really powerful. The tooltip on the skills are extreme. I will show you later. And I'm gonna make a tutorial and guide video, a gameplay guide video after I post this video, so make sure you subscribe and so that you won't miss out on that video, because I'll explain how I play this build and stuff like that. Okay, so the boring stuff are done. Like usual, we'll hop straight into the sets. Okay, so yeah, let me just off this. Okay, it's off. Alright, so what are we running? Because we are in melee build, so we are running Grofta, both impenetrable, extremely important like usual. Both maximum Magicka glyphs, and on the body pieces we'll be running the typical Shackle Breaker because I got it from my last setup, and I really don't want to change it around. You could use different sets like Necropotence if you want to go full damage, or you could go something like Ember Plasm if you want, but I feel like Shackle Breaker is just easy to obtain, easy to craft, cheap, and it's just all around a really solid set. So I use Shackle Breaker. I use 5 pieces on the body. Body you wanna use heavy, and one of the bigger pieces you use medium. Shoulder, legs or head you can use medium, and everything else is light. So I have body piece tri-set glyph, everything else Magicka glyph, and the legs tri-set glyph as well. Everything impenetrable. So you want 5, 1, 1. So 5 medium, 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. And like I mentioned just now, we will be using War Maiden on the Duvel bar, and the back bar as well is War Maiden. So no wonder I was having trouble. Totally forgot to charge. Just give me a second, I'll charge it up. Alright. Charge, and I'm going to charge it up. Okay, so basically we're running War Maiden jewelry. I use 2 reduced cost and 1 Magicka recovery, simply because the cost of skills are too expensive. So I just feel like you need to go everything into sustain. So I use 2 cost reduction and 1 Magicka recovery. And obviously it's arcane, everything is arcane, and we'll be using Duvel War Maiden swords, both of them sharpened. For the enchantment you could use, for the glyphs you could use Oblivion. I'm a Dark Elf, so fire would be really nice, flame damage, or you even could use the Vampire glyph, the one that do extra magic damage to Vampire. That is extremely useful because almost every single Magicka class in this game is a Vampire, even some stamina classes. So I feel like that glyph is really underrated. I'm gonna change it around because at the moment I got 2 Oblivion damage, which is not good. I'm gonna change maybe to Fire and Vampire. Okay, so the back bar healing stuff, defending. I strongly recommend you use increased weapon damage and spell damage glyph. So when you can do a light attack before you engage people on the back bar. It's really important. Okay, so these are the sets, and what did I miss? Yeah, I didn't miss anything. War Maiden both. Of course, I'll go through the pots and potions, poisons. It's more or less the same. There are 2 potions that I will be using very often. One is this immovable knockback potion, especially when I'm bombing people. So I don't want to get immovable and I want to get that crit. So I'll be using this potion. So you get immovable, major prophecy for crit, and Magicka, really important. And then typical tri-step potion, just for 1vx, 2vx, 3vx, small skill, large skill, everything. Just really important. Tri-step potion, must have. And the poisons, of course, you can use. I'm not using poisons usually on this build, but you can use anything you like dot poisons, cost increased poisons if you want them. You can use I highly recommend this poison as well. This 5.5 second poison, which restore 238 Magicka per second. So that is like 400 recovery. So it's 5.5 seconds, so it's like have like a, what you call it, 50% downtime on this poison, which I find it really strong. So sometimes I do use this poison. Sometimes when I'm running in a group and I feel like my sustain is not good enough, so I just put it on a front bar and a back bar. I'll just use that. Okay, and the food we'll be using, obviously, because we are running Shackle Breaker set, so we'll be using the Witch Mother Potent Brew. Must have. One of the best Magicka drinks you can ever use in this game. And the Mundus Stone is a tricky one. I'm using Thief at the moment, but Thief is... it got nerfed so bad. I'm not sure whether it's worth it to use it or not. So it's really up to you. You could use anything else, but Thief are really good as well. Magicka Recovery, Max Magicka, even spell damage, or the different Mundus Stones all could work. Apprentice, Astronaut, both are really good. Even the Mage is really good as well. So it's really up to you. But for me, I just want to achieve this 42% crit. Actually, I have even higher crit if I'm not mistaken. So I want to achieve this 47% crit, like more than 40. So I use Thief Mundus Stone, but it's really up to you. I might switch it around. I feel like Thief is a bit too weak now because it's only 7% this patch. So I don't know why Zos nerfed it so badly, but yeah, I would change it maybe to Astronaut or something else. Okay, so what else? I went through the Mundus already. I'll just buff up. I'll just use this potion so I can buff up, and I'll show you what my stats are before I go into the skills and everything, so you have a clear idea how strong this build is. Okay, let me slot this potion. Okay, I got it on. So let me just use this potion and I'll buff up. Okay, this is my raw stats. So I have 2000 recovery, 40k Magicka, 24k health. It's actually 23k because this campaign I think it's buff. Stamina is the same, and spell damage you can see it's 22k. Crit 57%. That is a lot. 2.2k spell damage, and yeah, that's about it. The stats is really solid, but you have to remember something. This stats doesn't include the damage, the 400 spell damage given by War Maiden. So you have to include that 400, which I have around 2.6k spell damage with 40k max Magicka. That is insane. Okay, so that is the stats, pretty solid. I really like this build. Of course, the resistance will go higher if you go Cloak and you get the major buffs for your physical and spell resistance, so it could definitely go higher. Okay, so I'll go through the skills now. I'll explain why I use War Maiden first. If you look at my skills now, right, you can see Merciless Resolve is a Magicka damage skill. Conceal Weapon is a Magicka damage skill. Lotus Fan Magicka damage. Zap Essence Magicka damage. Soul Tether Magicka damage. So everything is Magicka damage. That's why War Maiden is so freaking good on a Magicka Nightblade, unless you're using something like a Destro Ultimate or you know something else. But even something like the Soul Hours is Magicka damage as well. That's why it's so powerful. Okay, so that's the reason why I use War Maiden. I'll explain the skills. Obviously, Merciless Resolve is your burst damage from the Spectral Bow. You can do like 20k Magicka damage. Is really insane. So Conceal Weapon, your bread and butter DPS, your Lotus Fan, you'll get close, your 70% movement speed snare. This is extremely important. I highly recommend you use Lotus Fan. This is a really underappreciated skill. A lot of melee stamina Magicka Nightblades don't use this skill at all, but I feel like Lotus Fan is a must-have because the snare is just too damn good. 70%, 8 seconds. Imagine that. It's partially broken, in my opinion. Fear, obviously you need this. You can use it on the back bar and the front bar. Really depends on you, but I feel like the front bar is the best way for me. So, but you have to slot it no matter what, because it's just to relieve pressure when a lot of players are pounding on you, so it's really important. Fear. Zap Essence, it's a small heal and it deals decent damage as well. It's my way to get my major sorcery. Of course you could use Entropy, but for me, the Degeneration or Structure Entropy is really up to you. But for me, I feel like the heal and the AoE from Sap Essence is really strong, even in solo or like even in 2vx or 1vx situation. I feel like Sap Essence is a really strong spell, so I really like to use it. And Soul Tether is my preferred ultimate. I switch around either with Soul Tether or with Soul Harvest, or in cap is if you want the CC. Both are really good. I switch it around. I feel like Soul Harvest is pretty strong single target. Soul Tether is more AoE and control, and it gives you the heal, so you can just go more offensive. That's why I prefer Soul Tether slightly over Soul Harvest. Okay, on the back bar, Crippling Grasp. You want to put Crippling Grasp on the back bar. You want to put one siphoning skill on the back bar, so you get this passive 8% max Magicka Flood. So you either want siphoning attack or you either want siphoning attack or crippling grass on the back bar. So I prefer crippling because it's one of the best single target dot in this game, so I use it on the back bar. And Shadow Image, obviously you need to pot around, harness Magicka, Healing Ward, and Cloak. So this is must have, or these few skills. And Light Champion is your burst heal. This skill is pretty broken in my opinion because of major protection and gives you major force as well. I think it's too strong. So but you have to use it no matter what, because as a Magicka Nightblade you are a bit underwhelming already, the class, so I feel like Light Champions must have as well. Okay, so what could you change? Obviously you could change, you could put Clipping Grass on the front bar, and then you use Siphoning on the back bar, and you just use the Spell Power Pot. That's a choice you could do. Or you could do something like Entropy on the front bar, so you don't use Sap Essence. That is a way as well. And but I highly recommend you use at least Siphoning or Crippling Grass or Sap Essence on the front bar, so you get at least that 8% from Magicka Flood. It's really important. What skills are pretty good as well, you can slot around. Obviously if you want more damage, you want more raw damage, you could go for the Mage's Inner Light. Inner Light gives you the crit, gives you even more max Magicka, really strong. You could put it on your front bar if you want. You could drop Fear maybe. And one more skill I would want to mention is two more skills, okay? One is if you're running in a group, Proxy Detonation is the way to go. And you don't want to use Shadow Image because you will move too far away from your group, so I recommend you use the Vampire skill, which is Elusive Mist. This is how I play my how I play in a group more than 4 players. I'll just change around the skills here. If I play in a group more than 4 players, okay, which is not, I'll say still small skill, but not, it's like more group oriented anymore. You can't go YOLO and stuff. I would slot Proxy there because you'll be fighting bigger groups, and I'll use Elusive Mist because of the snares and stuff like that. So you can get out from snares, really important. So the front bar will be the same and the back bar will be like that. So if I play in a small, like more than a 4-man group, I'll use this setup. Okay, and yeah, I think I didn't miss anything from the skills. Yeah, I think that's about it for the skills. And I am a Dark Elf, so I should be actually playing with a staff. Fire staff would be much stronger, but I feel like it doesn't really matter as long as you are High Elf, Dark Elf, Breton, even Arconian could work definitely for this build. Okay, I'll go through the CP now. Almost forgot about it. And see. Okay, so I put 19 into Siphoner, 48 into Warlord. I just put 3 into Sprinter, sometimes I sprint a little bit. Arcanist 75, you don't want to go more than 75 because you want to get that 40%, that is the best. 15% will cost too much, so it's not worth it. Tenacity 11, just for your back bar heavy attack. Tumbling 51, you will dodge throw a lot on this build, obviously. Shadow Ward 13, yeah, you could put even less in the Shadow Ward, but I just put some because sometimes I might be blocking here and there. Bless 11, 40 Elfborn, 43 Expert, Elemental Expert, 18 Spell Erosion, 23 Shattering Blows, 71 Master at Arms. Really important, you need 71 points into Master at Arms because we are a single target build, so we do a lot of direct damage. So that's why Master at Arms is really important. Thermal Church 13, 13 points because we use a little bit of dot but not a lot, especially Soul Tether and Crippling Grass, so those are my dot damage, not a lot. Ironclad 61, Resistance 4, Thick Skin 13, 37 Hardy, 32 Elemental Defender, 66 Bastion, and 7 Quick Recovery. Okay, so that is about the CP. And what else did I miss? I think I missed nothing. I went through the skills, the sets, and everything. Okay, I'll just show you how much the tooltip is, because sometimes people want to mention in the comments below that I should show the tooltip. So this is the tooltip that it would be. Merciless Resolve 20.5k, 10.2 Conceal Weapon, Lotus Fan 7.7, 6.3 Sap Essence, and about 15k Soul Tether. Yep, that's about it. It could go even higher if I like use the light attack on the back bar, so I get this I get the weapon damage enchantment from the back bar. It could go even higher, but basically that's about it. So you need to know about 10k plus for my conceal weapon. That's all. Okay, that's about it for this build, and I'm a vampire obviously, so just remember that. Extremely important, you need to be a vampire on this build. I just feel like the bonus from vampires are just too good. Okay, yeah, that's about it for this build. Make sure you stay tuned for the gameplay video, the tutorial video. I'll tell you how I play the build in depth, so you will know more about the build, and make sure you subscribe and like. That'll be really appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the video. Okay, bye bye.